In recent years, so-called mer culture has been on the rise. Take, for example, Disney's 2023 remake of The Little Mermaid, the 2023 Netflix documentary Mer People in Fairgrounds St. Pete, an immersive art and tech experience home to Mystical Mermaid March, a month-long celebration of mer culture with events throughout its mermaid-inspired spaces. Then, there's the whole finfluencer trend, with mermaids and mermans like Grace Page and Merman Chris making a splash on social media. Of course, no discussion of mermaids can be made without referencing the original The Little Mermaid, which Disney released in theaters in November 1989 to much critical acclaim that culminated in 3 Academy Award nominations. In fact, Dr. Daniel Campora, Ph.D., a professor in the Department of English Language and Literature at the University of Toledo in Toledo, Ohio, where he teaches on topics including folklore and pop culture, thinks much of modern-day obsession with mermaids stems from the beloved Disney film. Adapted from the folktale by Hans Christian Andersen, the original The Little Mermaid was immensely popular after its release in 1989 and likely has fueled the interest for multiple generations, according to Dr. Campora. Pop culture mania aside, this all may lead you to wonder, are mermaids real or not? Ahead, find out if mermaids solely dwell in the land of myths or if any evidence indicates that mermaids exist. If you can't help but sink to the depths of your curiosity and ask if these magical creatures are real, then you're not alone. In fact, the U.S. government's National Ocean Service, an office within the U.S. Department of Commerce, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, has had to set the record straight regarding the matter on its website. The belief in mermaids may have arisen at the very dawn of our species, the NOAA writes. However, these half-human creatures are not real as no evidence of aquatic humanoids has ever been found, the post continues. Mermaids are fictional, of course, echoes Dr. Campora. That said, that does not mean that prominent people have not reported seeing them. The best apocryphal story credits Christopher Columbus for spotting a mermaid during his voyage but actually discovering North America's first manatee, he continues, adding that manatees are probably the closest we will ever get to a real mermaid. While some may wave their nets of skepticism, there are abundant mythological tales alleging the existence of mermaids. As Dr. Campora highlights, the 1989 Disney movie The Little Mermaid included elements reminiscent of the Greek sirens, from which much of the Western idea of mermaids originates, elaborates Campora, noting that the most recent obsession with mermaids was caused by the airing of a pair of mockumentaries, fake documentaries, on Animal Planet, Mermaids, The Body Found in 2012 and Mermaids, The New Evidence in 2013. Around that time, students began researching mermaids for their course projects. Before that, I had never had a student write a paper about mermaids, adds Dr. Campora. While mermaids exist in many cultures, the origin story Dr. Campora says is among the most familiar connects them to the sirens from Greek mythology. Much of the modern idea of mermaids is likely derived from the Greek sirens, he explains. Even though they were not always depicted as part fish, classical Greek art sometimes depicts them as such, and this image carried over into Western culture. Despite the lack of evidence indicating mermaids are, well, under the sea, some people continue to hold the opinion that mermaids are real. People have a strong desire to believe in the unbelievable, says Dr. Campora, adding that creatures like the Loch Ness Monster and mermaids are people's way of reconciling the unknown with something as large and encompassing as the oceans. NOAA may firmly assert that nothing thus far has proved mermaids' existence, but we choose to hold mermaids in our heart as the real deal nonetheless. The idea that something is out there has always fascinated people, and the desire to be the lucky one who happens to encounter one gives life a higher purpose, says Dr. Campora. Feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you for following. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated with hot news every day.